married, I remember this affection we shared. And this really made me question plural marriage pretty hard. I wish I would have seen the need for you and I to protect our special place. If I would have understood that, I think it would have been a lot safer for you. I feel like I put you in harm's way, and then it didn't step up to protect you.
Besties, buckle up, because Kody Brown's latest attempt to reel Janelle back in is already crashing and burning, and the fallout is messier than ever. Hey besties, welcome back to the channel. Let's jump right into it, because Kody Brown's little plan to pull Janelle back into the family circle? Yeah, that ship has sailed, sunk, and is halfway to the bottom of the ocean. It didn't work, and honestly, it never stood a chance. As many of you already know, Janelle has completely moved forward with her life. She's literally building a brand new home in North Carolina on the very property she shares with her daughter and her son-in-law, Caleb. She's planting roots, making plans, and shaping a future that has absolutely nothing to do with Kody. But this past week, Kody decided to drop one of his classic guilt-laden monologues on her. He told Janelle he feels like he put her in harm's way by marrying her and then leaving her with, well, he didn't say the name, but we all know who he meant, Meri. Because let's be real, if Kody is throwing around words like unsafe, unstable, or monster, he's almost always pointing at Meri Brown. And for a split second, his apology almost looked convincing. He talked about not protecting her, not supporting her, not giving her the life she deserved. For a moment there, it seemed like he thought he could tug on her emotions and get her to consider reconciling. But here's the truth. Kody has made it crystal clear that he doesn't want polygamy anymore. He's repeated, endlessly, that the only woman he wants is Robyn Brown. And funny enough, when Robyn was asked whether she'd welcome any of the women back, it was painfully obvious she would not be thrilled with that idea. Even Janelle herself seemed confused by the whole thing. She basically asked him, "Why now, Kody? Why this apology after all these years? Are you actually trying to get back with me? Because you're laying it on really thick." Fans were confused too. Many viewers were frustrated seeing Janelle listen so calmly instead of pushing back, especially after everything Kody put her and her kids through. But others pointed out that she's grieving the loss of her son. When you're in that kind of emotional pain, sometimes you just don't have the energy to fight. So naturally, people wondered, could she actually go back? The answer? A big, loud, definite no. Yes, the upcoming episode is titled something dramatic like, "Should we get back together?" And yes, Janelle briefly discusses the hypothetical idea of reconciling. But honestly, that feels more like a fleeting emotional moment, or classic TLC editing magic, than anything serious. Because sometimes you're around someone who once mattered to you, they say all the right things, and for a split second you wonder, but then reality hits and you remember exactly why you left. And trust me, Janelle remembers. You know when you have a passing thought like, maybe just maybe, that tiny moment where you wonder if things could have been different with an ex. That's basically the kind of fleeting idea Janelle admitted to having. A quick mental what if? The kind of thought almost anyone might stumble into at some point. But it doesn't mean you actually act on it. Because sometimes you're around someone who was once your ick, right? They say all the right apologetic things, they present themselves perfectly, and for a split moment you question everything. Then you go home, the fog clears, and it hits you like a brick. Oh yeah, I remember exactly why this never worked. And from everything we've seen, that's pretty much where Janelle landed. She snapped back to reality pretty fast, because by the very next episode, when Kody and Meri are supposed to sit down for their little heart-to-heart, we suddenly learn that Janelle has already reached out to Meri to talk about getting a spiritual release. Yep, while Kody was trying his hardest to distract her with his dramatic apology tour, Janelle was quietly moving forward, asking Meri about the process of officially cutting spiritual ties with him. Talk about a plot twist Kody did not see coming. And apparently, the spiritual release conversation doesn't even air until 2 weeks from now. 2 whole weeks, besties. TLC is dragging this apology storyline out like they're trying to stretch it into a 5-part trilogy. The next couple of episodes focus on Kody meeting with Christine. Then, right after Christmas, around December 28th, we finally get the big Kody apologizes to Meri episode. Now here's where it gets interesting. From what we're hearing, Meri's friends are absolutely not on board with this whole apology attempt. They've been trying to talk her out of even meeting with Kody. And honestly, I don't blame them. These women know Meri on a deeper level. They've watched the way Kody has messed with her heart, her emotions, and her sense of self for years. They've seen how he can twist things, manipulate, and make her feel guilty when she doesn't deserve it. So their protectiveness makes total sense. And here's something important that a lot of viewers forget. Most of Meri's closest friends are women who lived through polygamy themselves. Some grew up in it. Some were plural wives like her. Many of them eventually left, and some now work to help other women leave polygamist groups too. So unlike people outside the lifestyle, these women genuinely get her. They understand the trauma, the conditioning, the internal battles, and the emotional knots that take years to untangle. They're empathetic because they've lived it too, and that support system has played a huge role in Meri's growth. And honestly, I think Meri really needed that kind of community. She took a long time to fully step out of the marriage emotionally. She struggled, she backtracked, she doubted herself. Having women around her who understood her reality made the difference. But here's the ironic twist. On the show, Kody and Robyn love to talk about their church, even though they don't attend anymore. Robyn still clings to parts of it as her religion, which okay. But things behind the scenes were very different. A couple of years ago, someone connected to Meri, a family member through marriage, reached out and shared details about what happened right before the show first aired. According to them, the church leaders were strongly opposed to the Brown family doing reality TV. One of the leaders, Lemoyne Jensen, even gave a sermon saying he'd received direct revelation from God that going on the show would destroy the family. He apparently told Kody publicly, in front of the entire congregation, that the show would ruin everything and that Kody was doing it for the wrong reasons. Christine hinted at this in her book, though she didn't reveal the exact words. But according to this family source, who was actually present, that's what was said. And once Sister Wives hit the air, the church cut ties almost immediately. They didn't like how the family dynamic came across. They didn't think the show portrayed polygamy in a flattering way. They felt it brought too much scrutiny and revealed too many uncomfortable truths. Basically, the church was like, yeah, we don't want to be associated with that. So while Kody and Robyn kept insisting that the show helped people understand polygamy, the church saw it completely differently. Apparently, the church didn't think the show portrayed polygamy in a positive light at all. In fact, they felt it would actually turn even more people against them, which is kind of ironic. For years, Kody and the family have insisted that the show helped viewers understand their lifestyle, but clearly the church saw it very differently. Still, Meri has built a strong support system around her, and many of the people in her life have played a huge role in helping her finally break free. And here's the interesting twist. Now Meri is the one stepping in to help Janelle move toward her own spiritual release. It's actually a bit ironic when you think about it, because the leader of their old church, Dave Watson, is, in my personal opinion, not exactly a role model. He treated his own wife horribly, even abandoning his family, and there's an entire lawsuit tied to all of that. The whole situation is messy. But here's what matters. Janelle and Kody are absolutely not rekindling anything. If anything, this whole storyline pushes Meri and Janelle closer together as they talk through what Janelle needs to do to finally move forward. And yes, Janelle eventually follows through and gets her spiritual release. Something else that really stood out to me is what happens when Kody attempts to apologize to Christine. Things get tense, and not just a little. There's a noticeable clash between Kody and David, especially when the topic shifts to the kids and Kody's lack of effort with them. David doesn't hold back, and honestly, his concerns are completely valid. I actually appreciated how David framed it this week. He emphasized that if Kody claims he wants a relationship with his children, he needs to show up and prove it through his actions. And so far, his actions haven't matched his words at all. What's confusing is the timeline of this apology. I'm not exactly sure when it took place. It might have been sometime in spring 2025, which is right around when Kody and Christine were in mediation over child support. And this is where things get even more complicated. David and Christine's issues with Kody are very different from what Janelle or Meri are dealing with, because unlike them, Christine still has a minor child that Kody should be supporting, but isn't. Eventually, the child support case was settled in May 2025. And they didn't just settle, they had the entire case sealed. That's incredibly unusual for Utah. In that state, even divorce or custody cases can still be found in court searches, but this one? Completely scrubbed. If you search other cases, you can still see David and his late wife filing for divorce multiple times before reconciling. Everything is right there in the public records. His ex-wife struggled with addictions, painkillers and alcohol, according to their daughter, and during that time, their marriage went through serious ups and downs. Every filing listed their kids. You can also see that after she passed away, David became the legal guardian of their children, including the youngest, who wasn't biologically his. He adopted that child, Maddox, and raised him as his own. That's who David is, a man who stepped up for kids who weren't biologically his, and a man who took on raising a huge family after losing his wife. Some of the kids were adults by then, but still, he didn't run. He didn't abandon anyone. He stayed and showed up. Kody, on the other hand, well, let's just say showing up hasn't been his strong suit. David wasn't going to let him get away with skipping child support, especially since both Utah and Arizona law require him to pay. And honestly, the whole situation is jaw-dropping when you realize that while the separation was unfolding on TV, Kody wasn't paying a single cent. He didn't start paying child support until May last year. Christine left in 2021. That means for 4 full years, he contributed nothing. Meanwhile, he bought a $2 million house, bragged about finances, and argued nonstop about Coyote Pass, but not once did he support his own daughter financially. So yes, Christine and David's issues with him are far deeper than anything Janelle or Meri are currently dealing with, because their kids are adults now. And the sad part? Janelle never pursued child support, even though she absolutely should have, especially for Savannah. And honestly, it breaks my heart that Janelle never exercised her rights, not for herself and not for her daughter. She deserved better, and so did Savannah. But Christine did fight back, and that's why things between Kody and David, and later Kody and Meri, are about to explode. What's coming up is a level of tension that Kody cannot talk his way out of. And trust me, stay till the end because you won't believe how messy this gets. The so-called apologies he's handing out, they don't hold up. Not for a second. By the end of the season, he's right back to yelling at the tell-all, dragging Meri yet again over that same old affair storyline for the 800,000th time. Then he runs to his buddy Brian, spinning new lies about Janelle supposedly trying to steal money from Meri, stirring chaos all over again. It's the same cycle, the same behavior, the same patterns. None of the relationships are healing. Nothing is improving. The entire apology tour is completely fake, a total flop. The only hopeful moment is the confrontation between David and Kody, and I genuinely hope that part is real. I hope someone finally stands up for Truly, because Kody certainly hasn't. And I'm honestly relieved that at least someone is speaking up for her. Kody doesn't get to pretend he's working on his relationships when he still has a minor daughter who needed him and he simply wasn't there. Truly was only about 11 years old when Kody and Christine split. Still a child, still in middle school, still needing her dad. But he walked away, built a new life, and married another woman. That's who Kody Brown is. So yes, the apologies, they're failures. Every single one. And this moment right here is exactly why. You won't believe what's coming next. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think any of these apologies were real? Or just another performance? Before you go, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, hit subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you so much for watching, besties. See you in the next one.